Alan Shearer has branded the Manchester United team against Arsenal as the worst I've seen. Erik ten Hag was forced to pick a starting 11 from a squad ravaged by injuries, particularly in defence, before the Red Devils fell to a 1-0 defeat against the league leaders.
It was the club's first defeat at Old Trafford against the Gunners since 2020 and the first time since 2006-07 that Arsenal have done the double over Man United. On current form, it seemed likely Arsenal could romp for an easy win, but for all Man Utd's defensive improvement, they never looked like scoring against statistically the best defence in the division.
Regardless, Shearer did not hold back in his assessment of the team when speaking on the Rest is Football podcast. After praising the performance of William Saliba, the Newcastle and Blackburn legend said, "It helps when you've not got much in front of you that you're playing against, doesn't it?"
Read more on Man Utd. So embarrassing. Man Utd's issues laid bare as waterfall floods through Old Trafford roof. Eurovision play our bracket challenge game for free ahead of this summer's Euros. Goodness me. That Man United team, I think that's the worst Man United team I've seen in my lifetime.
That team consisted of the ever-present duo of Andre Onana in goal and Diogo Dalot at full-back. They were joined by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Johnny Evans and Casemiro in a makeshift backline.
Then Kobbie Mainoo, one of the few bright lights of the season, was joined by Sofiane Amrabat and Scott McTominay in midfield. Amad Diallo, Alejandro Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund were then fielded in attack. Most read in football. So embarrassing. Man Utd's issues laid bare as waterfall floods through Old Trafford roof. Horror attack 2 arrested after Leeds United fan slashed outside stadium. SHEWHO dares Alex Scott looks stunning in bold see-through outfit on BAFTA's red carpet. Tragedy. Professional footballer involved in fatal road accident that leaves cyclist dead. Best free bet sign-up offers for UK bookmakers. Shearer added, "You can't fault their effort, they tried."
But ability-wise, I know they've got loads of injuries, but would you really argue against me? Man United are one defeat away from having their worst ever Premier League season in terms of points. They scored just 58 points in the 2021-22 season and are currently on 54 with 2 games to go. Man Utd's top targets for the transfer window, but how does the team fielded against Arsenal compare to the team from that season? Well, for starters, 2 of the players are the same.
In goal there was club icon David De Gea. He was well past the peak of his powers by this point but remained generally reliable despite seeing 57 goals go in. In defence, one of the few decent players of this season in Dalot had his first major year as a regular starter at Man United and often filled at left back.
Alex Telles was the primary left back with 21 league appearances in the position that season. Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof were the main centre-back pairing, with Raphael Varane dogged by various injuries throughout the season. In midfield, the much maligned pairing of McTominay and Fred were in action,
though there was a tweak to the team in that the Brazilian was allowed to get further forward more often. Bruno Fernandes sat ahead of them, missing just 301 minutes of the entire league season.
The attack was led by Cristiano Ronaldo, who returned 24 goals despite turning 37 that season and played the third most minutes of anyone in the squad behind De Gea and Fernandes. Jadon Sancho appeared in 31 games and seemed to be finding his feet under Ralf Rangnick on the right wing after a tumultuous start.
The left wing was a more heavily rotated position, with Marcus Rashford and Anthony Elanga playing almost identical minutes. Rashford struggled heavily with injury that season, marking his worst in a Red Devils shirt, while Elanga was a Raw Academy graduate.
If you count Rashford in the 11 over Elanga due to playing 19 more minutes of league football, then only 4 of the 11 players have left the club permanently, those being De Gea, Telles, Fred and Ronaldo. A number of these players look set to depart in the near future, however, with new Man United bosses Ineos set to have a major clear-out.
Read more. Sun STORIESJUNGLE Fever. Holly Melby warned over rabid bats, deadly snakes as they film bear hunt. Lindelof, Maguire and Sancho look destined to leave the club within the next few windows, with the latter already on loan at former club Borussia Dortmund. Indeed, such has been the mess this season that the club's annual end-of-season awards have been scrapped for the second time in 3 seasons.
Sun Sports' verdict on Man United flops. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos have a busy summer ahead to get Man Utd's squad in order for next season. Below, Sun Sport gives it verdict on how they should deal with the Red Devils' flops this summer.
Andre Onana, stay. After a dodgy start at Old Trafford, Onana has proven to be one of the more reliable members of the squad this season despite being peppered with shots constantly. Altay Bayındır, go. Reports in February suggested Bayındır was unhappy with his bit-part role at Man United amid interest from Turkish giants Galatasaray.
If profit can be made on a sale, then it should be done. Tom Heaton, stay. Veteran goalkeeper Heaton, 38, is a reliable backup and is on a relatively small wage at the club. So long as he is happy, it makes sense to keep him. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, go. Wan-Bissaka, 26, has never managed to make the right-back position his own.
With his contract up in 2025, it makes sense to cash in now. Diogo Dalot, stay. Dalot, 26, has been one of Man Utd's most consistent performers this season. Raphael Varane, go. If it wasn't for his injury record, there would be a strong shout to keep Varane, but costs need to be cut to allow the squad to be freshened up.
Harry Maguire, go. Maguire has showed he has the right character to be at Man United, but overall ability and desired profile are another matter, with Maguire too slow to play in a high-line defense. Lisandro Martinez, stay. Martinez, 26, is second to none in terms of build-up play.
He needs a long-term defensive partner on the right side and to cut out the injuries which have plagued him this season. Johnny Evans, go. Veteran campaigner Evans could easily be on the stay list if he was only going to be a bit part player.
But he has shown his advanced years at times this season. Victor Lindelof, go. Lindelof, 29, has been reliable if not unremarkable in his Man United career. He has 1 year left on his contract, so should be moved on if a decent transfer fee can be got for him.
Willy Kambwala, stay. He should be given the opportunity to mature for a few years behind a senior CB pairing before stepping into the first team as a starter or being moved on. Luke Shaw, go. One of the Premier League's best left-backs when fit, Shaw has been a good servant when available.
But alas, that has been his Achilles heel once again this season. Terrell Malaysia, stay. Malaysia, 24, was decent enough to earn some merit in his first season at Man United before injury ended his season and inadvertently led to his second season being a write-off. Sufyan Amrabat, go. Amrabat, 27, looked like a world beater at the Qatar World Cup with Morocco.
But H has had an underwhelming season in England and his loan spell will almost certainly not be made permanent. Casemiro, go. An alarming physical decline has seen him turn from key star to burden.
If a club is willing to buy the 32-year-old, who has 2 more years on his contract, then United should snatch their hand off. Christian Eriksen, go. Eriksen proved a useful asset and Ineos should look to bring in another player with similar traits, but frankly his legs have looked gone towards the end of this season.
Kobbie Mainoo, stay. The first of the so-called untouchables, Mainoo has been a rare glimmer of hope in the Red Devils' midfield this season. Mason Mount, stay. Mount can be given the benefit of the doubt until summer 2025, at least after a debut season riddled with injury.
Scott McTominay, stay. McTominay, 27, has proven himself to be a brilliant plan B off the bench this season, and that is exactly why Ineos should look to keep him. Bruno Fernandes, stay. Man Utd's best player since his arrival just over 4 years ago, Fernandes, 29, remains second to none when it comes to creating chances while his tenacity boosts those around him.
Antony, go. There's a case to argue that Antony may be the worst pound-for-pound signing in Premier League history. Despite some memorable moments, he simply isn't Man United quality. Anthony Martial, go. Ultimately Martial needs to be let go when his deal runs out this summer after an appalling injury record of late.
Marcus Rashford, stay. As easy as it would be to say Rashford should leave the club this summer, it is difficult to look at the market and find many available players capable of scoring 30 goals a season. Alejandro Garnacho, stay. Another third of the untouchables trio, Garnacho has made the right wing his own since coming into it.
H is a raw talent but has shown he has the quality to improve. Rasmus Højlund, stay. A slow burner in his first Man United season, the 21-year-old has often been starved of supply, which has led to him being unable to get the goals his movement and unselfish play often merits. Amad Diallo, stay. In the fleeting moments he has been on the pitch for Man United this season, Diallo has looked dangerous and exciting.
He should be given a chance to flourish with some proper chances in the first team across a whole season.